Hey guys, what's going on? I'm DaigonStar with my new show, DaigonStar Talks, where surprisingly I talk about stuff. I don't play games and I don't do anything else. So this is me where I put my opinions across on certain subjects. And there's no set schedule for this one. I'm just going to do this as I get inspired to do it because I can imagine this being quite easy to do. But I can imagine it being hard to think of ideas. So I'm just going to do this as I get inspiration and then see how it goes. Also, if you noticed, wide angle. Yeah, it turns out I was setting up my webcam all wrong, and that's why I had the full 4:3 ratio, which, to be honest, for videos like this, you don't want. In my other videos, I'm gonna trial out the 16:9 aspect ratio on the gaming stuff and my streams as well. So yeah, any feedback on that would be awesome. I know my room's a mess. We've had 2 days of snow here in where I live, and well, work was closed, so I've had 2 days off. But I haven't been at home. I've been at my girlfriend's a lot. So yeah, that's why it hasn't been tidied. But I wanted to get this video out of the way because I got the idea, man. I got the idea. So what I'm going to discuss is the current state of the gaming industry at the moment. It's not good, is it? It's not. Um, Currently, we are facing a lot of problems with microtransactions, developers shifting unfinished games, and honestly, I'm pissed off with it. I come from a time in gaming where if you bought a game, you get the full game. My first console that I ever played was a Sega Mega Drive that my dad owned, and eventually we ended up having shortly after he bought it. Long story. Dad worked a lot, so he wasn't at home very often back then. And you know, when you got a game, then you got the full game. I mean, even Sonic 3 and Knuckles, like, yeah, okay, fair enough, they come with two physical cartridges, but Sonic 3 was still a finished game, and Sonic and Knuckles is still a finished game. You just combine them together, get a longer game. I know that Sonic and 3 Knuckles was the original intended game, but they still felt finished, man. And with today's market, like, you don't get the finished game, or it's buggy as fuck on release, and then you have to get a day one patch from to patch the problems that they should have patched before it shipped. I understand games cost a lot more to make now. I get that, but at the same time, man, it's now becoming business over passion. Like, if you look at some of these indie titles that are coming out, it reminds me of the glory days of PS1, PS2, Mega Drive, or Genesis, wherever you're from. They come finished, and if they have some DLC, they are normally expansions. Sometimes they even release those things for free. I mean, the best game that I can think of right now that's doing that is Monster Hunter World. I'm absolutely obsessed with that game. If you watch my stream, you know that I've been playing the shit out of that game. It's beautiful. Because you get a finished game, and all the updates that they're releasing that adds new content are for free. And if they release any paid DLC, other than, I think they've got a few paid bits anyway, but other than those bits, if they release like an expansion pack that expands the game world, adds new monsters, adds new things to do, I will pay for that purely because it's an expansion pack. And that is what the era that I grew up in, that's what DLC was. Like, if you look at some of the old Elder Scrolls games, if you look at like Oblivion, you had the expansion pack. We forget about all horse armor. That's when things started going downhill. But so you got Knights of the Nine and all the Shivering Isles expansion packs. With Skyrim, you had, jeez, I can't even remember now. Dawnguard and Dragonborn. They're the ones that I was trying to remember. I mean, there's also Half-Fire, which didn't add extra points to the map or an extra map in title like Dragonborn did. But it wasn't overly expensive. Sorry, I've got a lot of gas. Coffee, man. But it was still extra content. You could still build a house and, you know, have a player house. And it wasn't overly expensive, I don't think. Can't remember. Let's have a look. So we want Half-Fire. How'd you spell it? Yeah, Skyrim Special Edition. Yeah, there's no DLC for that, is there? So we'll just look for Skyrim. Can you not buy Skyrim anymore? Just the standard Skyrim anymore? Holy shit. Alright, there's a way around that. Skyrim. Alright, so we go to store page. Alright, so pause that. Alright, so half five. Yeah, free. Okay, so that's £3.49. So that's probably like $5. It's nothing. And you choose your land, customize your home, your objectives and interactions. That is not bad. And you even get to adopt children. I forgot about that. So yeah, that's fine. And it actually gives you content, actually gives you stuff to do. I'm going to touch on a subject now I know has been talked about to death. Loot boxes are straightforward gambling, which should be reserved for people of 18 years old and above. Depending on where you live, obviously, there could be different laws elsewhere. I'm not sure about that. But in where I live, it's 18 plus to gamble. But you have these games that will ask you to pay real world money for either the in-game currency that they use or just straight buy these boxes where you have a certain percentage chance to get the item you want. That's gambling. You can probably turn the percentage of how often you're going to get an item into odds. Well, I know you can. I don't know the formula for it. If someone out there knows, you can share it in the comments. But when you can turn something like that into odds, which you've paid real world money for, that's gambling. There is no other way about it. I don't understand why the publishers will argue against that. Sure, it would be fine if you wasn't spending real world money. It then wouldn't be classed as gambling. I don't agree with the practice personally. I mean, Injustice 2, a game that I do play quite a lot, I don't agree with the whole loot box side of it. I don't want to have to sit there and grind through to possibly get a chest plate for Batman. But then I'll get a mask for Green Lantern, or like a hook for Scarecrow, or a pair of shoes for the Joker. I've got to sit through all of that just to maybe get a half decent chest plate for my main. Warframe has done a decent way of, putting microtransactions in the game. I mean, first of all, Warframe's free to play. So you can support them by paying for certain items, such as, extra bits towards your next Warframe or a complete Warframe. I agree that they're allowed to do it purely because they're giving you the game for free, and it's a fucking good game. You should definitely play it. It's well worth the low cost of nothing. It's definitely worth playing. I've put a few hours into it. I'll probably stream it again at some point. But again, I didn't pay 50 quid to get the game to begin with. It's free. So to make a bit of money, they've put a few microtransactions in there. But again, if I really, really wanted to, I could play through the game, progress naturally, and still get every Warframe in the game by putting the work in. I don't have to pay for anything if I don't want to. To me, that's fair. Warframe just proves that there is room to be passionate about developing your game and also do well financially. I mean, Warframe got rejected by so many different publishers when it was pitched to them, and they decided to go it alone, and it was successful on all platforms. I personally play it on PC, and I've heard that it's done really well on PS4. I don't think it's out on Xbox One yet. I'm not overly sure. I don't really pay much attention to Xbox One, purely because I don't own one, honestly. I also think part of the problem of the industry currently is the inability to take risks. We are seeing so many remasters come out at the moment that I just really don't see the point. With the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, yeah, I get that one. Really get that one, because that game is 3 generations old. It could have done with an update. Final Fantasy VII remaster is coming out. I get that as well. Plus, also they are adding the new combat system to it, which I hope works out really well, personally. But Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 remastered, The Last of Us remastered, the Uncharted series remastered. Did we need them? I mean, I get with consoles, you kind of, in order to bring the older gen games to the newer platforms, yeah, okay, I kind of get it, fair enough. But, I mean, Skyrim has been released how many times now? Been re-released, how many times? That's kicking a dead horse. And I can see the same happening for Fallout. Honestly, if for Fallout 4, I think that it may happen with that as well. I don't think we need it all. Honestly, I really don't. Just come up with some new ideas. I mean, I know it's difficult. I write music and I still sometimes find it hard to come up with new lyrics and come up with new melodies that I haven't done before and make a song sound the same as the last one. I know it is difficult. Being creative can be difficult, but can be done. I mean, CD Projekt Red, they're bringing out their new is it Cyberpunk 2077 or something? I'll have to double check that. But that looks good. I mean, I've heard really good things, and they said no microtransactions, but even better. Boom. And again with The Witcher, man, that was completely different, and that was amazing, absolutely fucking amazing. But yeah, that was just some of my thoughts on what's going on at the moment in the gaming industry. I'm gonna try and come up with more opinions, and I know my arguments weren't amazingly well thought out, but I just had this idea. I just wanted to get straight on and do it. If you like what I do, yeah, just give me a like, give me a comment, and maybe drop me a subscribe. I will be coming out with more gaming stuff soon, very very soon. I've also got a few more ideas of what I'm going to do in this channel, music related, because I do want to add that. I do want to add my music side in as well. So I'll be coming up with some stuff for that. I have an idea of something that I'm going to be doing. My girlfriend will be involved, which will be interesting because she hasn't been on my channel yet, but I've been on hers a few times. Her channel will be linked in the description with some of the videos that I am actually in. Yeah, but yeah, other than that, man, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. Peace.